Zirax Part 4. Zirax, a towering reptilian xeno with scales that shimmered like emeralds, stood at the junction of a dark corridor. His piercing yellow eyes scanned the network of hallways before him. Beside him were his loyal crew, Zirax, the cunning hacker with a knack for infiltrating systems, Lena, the brilliant female engineer with a mind as sharp as her claws, Nia, the compassionate female medic whose medical expertise had saved them countless times, and Rigel, the tech-savvy had an expertise in gadgets and machinery. Their mission had brought them to a derelict space station, floating eerily in the void. The station's once bright lights now flickered dimly, casting long shadows that danced across the walls. The air was thick with the scent of decay and abandonment. "Stay alert," Zirax hissed, his voice a low growl. "We don't know what we'll find here." The crew moved cautiously through the station's corridors, their footsteps echoing in the silence. Zirax led the way, his multi-tool scanning for any signs of life or danger. Lena followed closely, her eyes darting around, ready to fix any malfunction they might encounter. Nia brought up the rear, her medical kit at the ready, while Rigel kept an eye on their tech, ensuring everything was functioning smoothly. As they ventured deeper into the station, they stumbled upon a destroyed laboratory. The room was in shambles, with broken equipment and shattered glass strewn across the floor. In the center of the chaos was a containment unit, its door ripped open from the inside. "What happened here?" Lena whispered, her voice trembling. Zirax's eyes narrowed. "Something got loose. Something powerful." Suddenly, a low growl echoed through the room. The crew turned to see a monstrous creature emerging from the shadows. It was a cosmic horror, a nightmarish being with writhing tentacles and glowing red eyes. The creature had been the cause of the station's destruction, and now it had its sights set on them. The creature's body was a grotesque amalgamation of sinewy muscles and chitinous armor, its skin a sickly shade of brown that seemed to pulsate with a life of its own. Its tentacles, each as thick as a tree trunk, writhed and twisted with a mind of their own, tipped with razor-sharp barbs that dripped with a viscous. The creature's head was a mass of writhing tendrils, with a gaping mouth filled with rows of jagged teeth that seemed to stretch endlessly into the darkness. As it drew closer, the crew could hear the low, guttural growls emanating from deep within its chest, a sound that sent shivers down their spines. The air around the creature seemed to crackle with an unnatural energy, and the temperature dropped noticeably, causing their breath to mist in the cold. "Prepare for battle," Zirax roared, grabbing his plasma rifle from his back. Zirax immediately sprang into action, using his hacking skills to disrupt the creature's senses. Rigel worked quickly to create a barrier between them and the creature, while Lena reinforced the barrier with her engineering expertise. Nia readied her medical supplies in case of injury. The creature lunged at them, its tentacles thrashing wildly as the space between them shrank alarmingly. In a flash, it was across the room and had Zirax in its tentacles. Zirax fought bravely, using his hacking skills while shooting his plasma rifle, trying to keep the creature at bay. But despite his best efforts, the monster's strength was overwhelming. In a tragic turn of events, Zirax was twisted in the creature's grasp with a horrible pop as his spine snapped, then thrown against the wall, his body making a wet sucking sound and crumpling to the ground in a heap, leaving a bright purple streak of blood down the wall. "Zirax!" Nia cried, rushing to his side. But it was too late. Their friend and comrade was gone. Fueled by grief and determination, Nia and Rigel sprang into action. Nia's compassionate nature turned into fierce resolve as she grabbed a medical injector filled with a potent sedative. Rigel, with his tech-savvy skills, quickly assessed the creature's weak points using his handheld scanner. Nia, sedative should work on it. Aim for the base of its tentacles, Rigel shouted, his voice steady despite the chaos. Nia nodded, her eyes narrowing with determination. She darted around the creature, using her agility to avoid its thrashing limbs. With precision, she injected the sedative into one of the tentacles, causing it to momentarily recoil. Rigel, meanwhile, was busy setting up a makeshift EMP device from the remnants of the lab equipment. This should disrupt its neural pathways, he muttered to himself, his fingers working quickly and efficiently. The creature, sensing the threat, turned its attention to Rigel. It lunged at him, but Nia was quick to react. She threw herself in front of Rigel, using a piece of debris as a shield. The creature's tentacle slammed into the debris, sending both Nia and the makeshift shield flying. "Nia!" Rigel shouted, his heart pounding. He activated the EMP device and threw it at the creature. The device emitted a high-pitched whine before detonating, sending a shockwave through the room. The creature convulsed, its movements becoming erratic and uncoordinated. Taking advantage of the creature's disorientation, Nia and Rigel regrouped with Zirax. Nia, despite her injuries, continued to inject the sedative into the creature's tentacles, each shot weakening it further. Rigel used his technical expertise to reinforce the barriers and create distractions, buying them precious time. The entire time, Zirax fired at the creature as fast as the cooling mechanism on his rifle would allow. But then, the creature let out a deafening roar and lunged at Nia with renewed ferocity. Rigel, seeing the imminent danger, made a split-second decision. He threw himself in front of Nia, taking the full brunt of the creature's attack. The tentacles wrapped around him, lifting him off the ground. "Rigel, no!" Nia screamed, tears streaming down her face. "Keep fighting, Nia," Rigel gasped, his voice strained. "Finish this, for Jacksnix." With a final, desperate surge of strength, Rigel activated a self-destruct sequence on his handheld scanner. The device exploded, sending a powerful shockwave through the creature. The monster let out a final, anguished scream before collapsing to the ground, defeated. Nia fell to her knees, her heart heavy with grief. Zirax and Lena rushed to her side, their faces etched with sorrow. They had lost two dear friends, but their sacrifices had not been in vain. As the creature lay motionless, Zirax noticed a glint of something valuable amidst the wreckage. It was a collection of cosmic gemstones that shimmered with an otherworldly light. With heavy hearts, the remaining crew members gathered the gemstones and made their way back to the stellar salvager. The gemstones were unlike anything they had ever seen. Each one was shifting colors, radiating a unique energy. They were said to be fragments of ancient stars, imbued with the power of the cosmos. These cosmic gemstones were highly sought after, not only for their beauty but also for their potential to harness incredible energy. As they examined the gemstones, Lena's eyes sparkled with excitement. "These are star shards," she whispered in awe. "They're incredibly rare and powerful. With these, we could power our ship for years, or even create new technology." Nia, still grieving the loss of their friends, looked at the gemstones with a mix of sorrow and hope. Jacksnick's and Rigel's sacrifices led us to this. We must honor their memory by using them wisely. Zirax nodded, his piercing yellow eyes reflecting the gemstone's glow. We will. These star shards could change the course of our lives. With that, the stellar salvager soared into the stars, carrying its crew and their newfound treasure towards their next adventure.